And hi everyone. So I think we all know that we are here for a session called How to Use AI Like a Top Engineer. So I think everyone knows AI is the talk of the moment. But when people use AI, they mostly use it for code generation or prompting or image generation and stuff like that. But AI is much more than that. So we are hosting this session today to let you know how top engineers or professional engineers use AI into the software development lifecycle or their engineering workflows, and how to use AI for more than code generation, like how to use it for planning, debugging, documentation purposes, and other things. What are the best practices? What mistakes you should avoid, and other things. So this is something that we have planned this event for. And today's guest speaker is Mansi Soni, who is currently working as an MTS2 at Nutanix and has worked with Flipkart and Hotstar in the past. So she will be taking up this session. Before inviting Mansi, I would just like to emphasize on what Abhishek just said. So your microphones would be disabled, so you won't be able to ask questions during the session. If you still have questions during the session, you could utilize the Q&A session feature of the Meet. Maybe let me just show that to you quickly. Um, so yeah, so you can just go here in the tools. We have this Q&A section. In the Q&A, you could just ask a question. If you are not comfortable with showing your name, just post anonymously and you can just post it. So this is basically what it is. And also you can utilize the chat. So at the end, when we'll have the Q&A, we'll first take questions from Q&A section, then chat, and then ask you to unmute your microphones and ask your questions live. So with that, I would just like to invite Mansi to speak. Hi, Mansi. Thanks for taking out time to be with us today. And yes, the stage is all yours.
Yeah, hello everyone. First of all, thank you all for joining after your hectic college schedules. So this session is all about everyone must be using AI. Even my mom uses to watch cooking recipes, everything. But today we would see currently you guys are in your college. You must use AI for your assignments, for completing your assignments, your coding tasks, etc. But when we go forward in our careers, like you would be getting placed, right? So how you can inculcate AI in your daily work, in your offices, or how you will build a product from there, basically what except then a code generation you can do with AI. So myself, Mansi, as Shashank has introduced, and I work as a software engineer too at Nutanix. And here I build products like virtual machines, those kind of products. So in the today's session, so it's just not a theory for me. This is literally the workflow I use every single day at work, like planning, debugging, reviewing, or documenting the work I do using AI, and not just like saying to the AI, like, okay, generate a function, do this for me. So we would be going through all of this. I'll just quickly present my screen. Let me know if that's visible to you. So the screen is visible.
Yes, yes, we can see.
Okay, nice. Okay, so everyone in this room must have used AI, right? So I'll just quickly go ahead. So this is the agenda of our session. So these things we would be covering. Like first, the mindset shift. Earlier we used to use Stack Overflow, Google, etc., etc. We used to have a kind of friend to debug our things, to make our works easier. But after the mindset shift to AI, what the difference is there, right? And the AI workflow, how and at what point in your product which you are developing, where you should introduce AI and how you should use that. And then I'll be showing you some demo of one AI agent, which I'll be using cursor here. And after that, I'll be telling you, like, once you move ahead in your career, you would be getting some, like, AI using is very costly also. So it's not like you just keep on typing and just utilizing AI credits, right? So you must have some set of mistakes which you should avoid while prompting also to the AI, right? So I'll be discussing all the prompting techniques, pitfalls, which you should not uh, use into the AI, right? Okay, let's move now. So the most controversial topic, which is today, is that would AI replace engineers? So I think this fact sits good there, that AI actually hasn't replaced the engineers, but it actually replaced engineers who only wrote the code. So if you only know, okay, this is the problem statement, okay, I just need to make the code working, I just need to write the code. Hey AI, just make me a website for shopping in just 5 minutes. So that's not actually the kind of theory which we should be having as a software engineer. Many of you would be like going into this career, right? So writing the code was always the smallest part of our job, right? As a software engineers or like as a engineer, right? While coding or building a product. So the coding part is at the very end. Before that, while building something, we have a perfect set of life cycle, which I would be showing you, which we engineers use and currently use AI to solve them. Okay. Yeah. So I'll take just a quick example. There are two engineers. Okay, let's say first engineers chodo, we take like students. There are two students. So first student is like, let's say Ram and Shyam, we can just simply take. So first is like who treats the AI as autocomplete. Like let's say you want to build a website, as I took that example. Okay, so you just give it a giant prompt key. Okay, hi, I want to build this website for ordering momos, let's say. So AI just completed the code. It gave you to the file. You just ran it and just submitted to your professor or submitted that assignment. Or basically, the website is running now. So that part is like you just asked, treat AI like a junior engineer. So you just asked a very small kid to complete this task. And the other person, which I can take example here, he treats AI as a collaborator. Just think about, you are a manager, you want to build a product. So in that, you first break down the task. So that person has got a problem statement, let's say a real world problem statement he need to solve. Let's say I need to build a website for home cleaning services. Like we have urban company, yes madam, okay. First person, what it did was it just gave AI the prompt, okay, just give me the code, make the website running. That's not how we actually deal when we go to the companies and use the AI there. We actually follow a proper life cycle there, which I would be showing you, but just to give you a quick grudge here. So the second person, what it did was it break down the task, it added the prompts little for each of the tasks, and then did some testing and then planned the architecture, thinking, deciding the things. So these are a very different example of two students who are trying to uh, complete a product and build it. Okay. So this is the life cycle which I was talking to you. We currently look in AI just to make our code easier, make our code productive, make our code optimized. Okay. But AI touches every stage of our SDLC lifecycle. SDLC word here is, I will explain it. It's software development lifecycle. So basically, the lifecycle needed to develop a software. Okay. So it goes from, and this exact lifecycle is being made. You see any ads, like you see Blinkit, you see Zepto, these were developed during 1 year, 2 year. These were developed like this only. First was the planning part, where the things were planned into small tasks. Okay, this part should go into this page of the website. Then was the designing part, designing the approaches, because designing a product can be of different approaches, right? So we have completely different trade-offs. Like let's say we can take example, if we are using some, let's say front end framework here. So if we want to use Vue or React here, any framework which we can use. Okay, so there are plenty of approaches that at that part also we can ask the AI to design, to give us 2 or 3 approaches, and then we can based on them decide on that. Okay. And after that, the next part comes is it's a build part. So we have planned, okay, this is our problem statement. These tasks we need to do. After that, we design the things. We discuss the approaches with the AI. Then we build it. Here comes the generate part, the code generation part, the complete code revamp part, those kind of things. And after that, we have the testing phase. So all the, let's say, am I audible to all now? Just to be clear.
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. Okay. So we were at the build part. So what we have seen here, we have a product, we planned it, we break down into small tasks, then we did the designing, we discussed the approaches. Then after that, we are building that. Here code generation comes, right? And all the coding techniques which we want to use in our code, all that part, that's very wide. We are just discussing the high level view of a SDLC lifecycle. After that, we have the testing part. So after the AI has write code, we will ask AI only to write the test for the code which which it has already written. Okay. So all the edge cases AI must have missed, anything which it has missed, it will be including and handling in the test cases. Then you run those test cases and check yourself that whether AI generated code is correct or not. You must have listened about the PyTest, which we use in Python. So or the unit testing, which we say, that comes under this phase. After that, we push the code to the GitHub or pull request, which you guys must know. Then we make it review. Before pushing it, we can make it review from the AI also, right? And after that, documenting and the maintaining things, the debugging part, that we will be covering in the next sections. Okay. So this is mainly the 7-part life cycle, which actually builds a product, be it any product. You see Blinkit, Hotstar, even Flipkart, where I have already worked. So everything, even a very small feature, if you see a search bar on the any app, even that feature, every big feature goes via this life cycle. Okay. Okay. So now which the main topic, which is the main agenda of this session, that except code generation, what other tasks which we can use our AI for? Okay. So see, every stage of engineering work has 2 parts. Okay. First is gathering the information. Let's say what are the options we have, what could break, what already exists into the system, right? And making a decision. This is the second part. First was gathering the information. Second is how we make the decisions of our product, right? Like which option, which approach we need to choose, which fix, which changes we need to go, what actually ships to production, right? So AI is very excellent at first part, like gathering the information, but very dangerous in the second part, which was making a decision. Because AI is trained, because AI is man-made, so AI is trained on a part like it would assume if it don't know anything. See, AI is there, human is there. If AI don't know anything, it would assume the things, and on assumption, it will give you the generated output. But what human would do, if human has any doubt in anything, so it would research for that and then discuss the trade-off of different approaches. So that's where planning and architecture comes. So before you write a line of code, use AI to think out loud. So before any generating, let's say we need to generate a website, I need login for a college event booking app. So just to set a context, I have a website, and at there I need a login system. So for that login system, what we usually do, we just ask ChatGPT or any AI agent which you guys use, Cursor, GitHub Copilot. We just ask it, build a login system in this website. It don't know yet. So any of the things, like any constraint, how much people will be logging into the system, how much scale it has. Okay. So it would just assume on that part and it will generate you output. So that's a very bad prompt which we can give AI. Okay. Just a minute. And by the way, this is a part of the first part of our planning. Okay. Where the whole product life cycle starts. So a good prompt here would be, I need login for a college event. I would show you through a Cursor demo also in some time. Okay. So I need a login for a college event booking app. This much concurrent users, like these many users can log in into the system at the same time. And it must support Google sign in, like we see while logging in, sign in via Google. Give me 2, 3 approaches with trade-offs. Don't pick one yet. Pick one yet. matlab, Don't just go ahead and implement it. First, discuss with me the different approaches. So in that way, what first prompt would give you? It would just give you a code, a running website, a logging system. Simple. And what would happen after that? It would definitely break at very edge cases. It would not be able to handle this much amount of users. Okay. But if we give it a detailed command here, we gave it different constraints, users, we are telling them the scale, then it would be able to give us the different approaches. So the main difference here is in the bad and good one, that in the bad one, it just assumed out of 4, 6 approaches, it was thinking it in their mind. It just assumed, okay, let's pick this third one and just implement it. But here, what would be done is information gathering AI has already done. It thought of 4 to 5 approaches or 2 to 3 approaches. It gave you, and then you decide based on your human intervention. Okay, let's go with this approach based on the trade-offs. Which one would be beneficial? Okay, so this is, trust me, this is the main and the very hardcore part of the system of building any of the product, any of the feature, any optimization, anything, planning and architecture. Because once you will be going into your placements or working in a very good company or any startup, anything, so if your architecture is wrong, then you must be told by your manager, okay, just implement it again, change the architecture. So spend really good time discussing why AI is implementing this thing. Okay, next part is debugging. So if you guys have done any internships at a company or any like MNC or anywhere, so you must have seen during your training phase, you guys are assigned some bugs like Jira tickets. They are bug tickets. So what most people do is it just open the code base or the function. It just say AI, okay, fix this error. The person, see, intent of a debugging phase is not just fix this error. It's intended to make you memorize the code base or understand the code base, getting familiar with the code base easily. Okay, so this is where this debugging part comes in. We can even use AI for debugging also. There is a bug in the code, we can ask AI, here is the error in the code, like you must have run the code and you must have got any stack trace. You can paste it there and tell, give me 3 possible root causes or any possible root causes ranked by likelihood, means how much probable are them, before suggesting any fix. Or if I show you in cursor also, we have we have an icon here. If you see, there is a debugger icon also here, so we can use a debug mode. This may come in the like paid plans. I'm not much sure about that, but yeah, we have these. We have seen the plan part. So AI actually plans you the things. Then debug part comes. Okay, it actually keeps set of scenarios. Let's say 5 to 6 scenarios. It keeps in mind and then runs the code over those scenarios and then come to a conclusion. So if we just write a simple like this, fix this error, so it would just assume the things and gives you a very broad answer. So that's exactly how we use AI for debugging. Okay, yeah. Next is the refactoring part. AI has write the code or you have write the code. Make this code better. See, for human actually knows what better in means. It's like your heart knows how, in which way you want to make your code better. But to make AI understand, because AI don't know, for AI what does better mean. Okay, what is the definition of the better? So that you need to represent here. Refactor this for readability only. Don't change behavior. Explain each change you make. Because AI, while making the code better, may make your code optimize. It may make your code prettier, like change the function names. It may refactor it. So what I have written is for readability, means if some functions are in 2 lines, make it in 1 line, or change the names. So we need to make AI understand better. Think of it like a junior collaborator, as I told you in the initial slides. It's just a junior engineer which you have gotten in free, kind of, for the free plan. Okay. And you are explaining him, okay, do things like this. Then AI would be able to give you correct answers. Okay. And next part is the testing, which is very important. AI has written the code for you. You ask the AI, okay, write some test for this. Again, which test? There are unit tests, there are integration tests, there are many kind of tests. Okay. And in unit test also, see, we can ask AI like generate unit test covering empty values, nulls, basically the edge cases, the boundary values, and all the duplicate entries. So so this is very a generic ask, you see, like write some test, and that only some, which kind of test, what need to be covered, that's not actually covered here. So what AI will do is AI will simply gets you generic happy path test, naming the edge cases, it what makes the test actually useful. Okay. So testing is the core, and that can't be omitted. Next is the documentation, which definitely this is very my favorite line. The first thing AI can write, and the last things engineer get to. So earlier, what used to be done was engineers have written the code. Then there was so much of the pressure. Okay, now we need to document. They used to take 2-3 days to document a feature which they have enrolled into their product, or any optimization they have done into their code. So they used to take 2-3 days. Now we have the AI. AI is brilliant at writing documentation. Even if you have been given a code base, a huge code base of your company, if you are interning it somewhere, in today's time, I don't think so. Nobody would, in your team also, would get time to give you KT sessions, like knowledge transfer sessions, explaining you each line of the code. You guys must have to use AI to learn from them. Okay. So in the documentation, main part is basically the changes you have done. You are writing the comments into the code only, so that the future one who joins, he get to see. Okay. He don't have to reverse engineer that thing. And while writing documentation also, again, you guys are very brilliant now. We know how to not ask a generic prompt to the AI, but to give it a direction. Do it like this, write doc string, write a strong readme section. You must have seen in GitHub pull request also, there is always a readme file. So that AI can write very seamlessly and better than humans, even much better than humans. Okay. Because we as engineers are very like we very suck at writing documentations, right? So that's very important. And I use Python also, so in my company. So in Python, the writing the comments, because it's not very intuitive, like easy to understand. Okay. So we need to write the documentation for each feature we have shipped. Next is the code review part. So you are working on a feature, you are working on some optimization, or you have debugged something. Now you push it to the GitHub or pull request you create or get it, which any website which you use. So before pushing it, you make AI as its first reviewer before a human ever sees your PR. So basically you push it to GitHub, then your teammates review your PR. So before that, AI has written the code. Before that, it has already planned, then designed, then architecture, then written the code, then written the test cases also. Now ask AI before committing into my GitHub repository, please tell me, like, please become a senior software engineer, or I need to make my pull request reviewed by my manager. So ask AI, become my manager and review my PR before my manager or my colleague or my senior engineer, any of that. So review this difference, like difference matlab changes which it has done, like a strict senior engineer, what you would block on. So even AI has written the code itself, AI has tested it also. After that also, you would see some of the suggestions which AI would give you, that okay, I missed this, or it can be made this better also. So in this way, we can be very saved from long running comments on our PR. Okay. And in this also, we must tell the AI to how to review, like become or this. Okay. And we can also add it here, like do code review. Let's say your code has only behavioral changes, so ask it, don't refactor it, just tell me reviews related to my behavior changes. Is any behavior which I left was missed out from the code base while doing the changes? Okay. Yeah. And the next thing, so we are into, just to guys remind of you the context which we are on. So we are discussing beyond code generation. So after beyond code generation, we already discussed 6 things. Next thing is learning unfamiliar tech. So let's say you have been assigned a product code base this much long, and you don't know, let's say it uses a fast API. You don't know fast API. You can even use AI. You don't need to go to your any of the colleague or something to learn it. So you can, or maybe you were earlier using Java, and now in your internship on your company, you guys have been assigned a code base full of Python. Okay, so earlier you were familiar with the Java concepts. Now you are familiar with the Python concepts. How you would understand? So tell the AI only now. Okay, I know earlier Java and I want to learn Python. So please explain me some of the functions or the core concept which are similar in them, which are the differences, and how I would write the similar line of code in Java and how I would write in Python. Okay, then it would give you a brilliant documentation, trust me, better than the official documentation of the frameworks and everything. And you would get actually the main points which you guys need to learn from that framework. Okay, so and in this also, like a good prompting technique, I would say. And trust me, when I am spending this much of the time of this session in this part, like how to ask AI to make you learn, to make you debug, that's very important, because currently you may be on the free plans or something. After a certain time, AI, you would start noticing AI use tokens to generate your answers. So if you write something, teach me React, so it would give a very whole context of the code base and just give you a generic answer. So teach me React gives very generic sense to the AI. Okay. But if we anchor to it, what we already knows, it gives a mental model to it to give the answer or the approach to us. Okay. Okay. Now, you guys must have used AI in any of your works, right? So due to the time constraint, like here, I'm not trying to build a very hard website or something like that. I'm just showing you a simple example. It's of attendance bulk calculator. So we guys must have any time think in our college ki this is the class, how we can bunk this. Like either we can bunk this or not. If let's say I have a criteria of 75% attendance. So for that, I have written a simple algorithm here. I can also show you in the cursor. Wait a minute. So it's a simple algorithm. It's a simple function indeed, I would say. Okay. So it just returns us whether we can skip the class, you can skip the class, or we need to attend the class. Now this function has many bugs. So what we usually do, we use ChatGPT or any AI agent and we ask it, optimize this. We don't know its internal working, why it fixed that particular bug, why it gave that particular solution. See, if you must think that it's a very small code, we can just simply say fix these 2 words and it's done. But once you move ahead going forward, when you would be assigned a very, very big code base, trust me, you guys have to implement this practice. Okay. So I'm just giving you a simple example. Like here, instead of firstly try to understand, think of it like you have been given a massive code base, and in that you are trying to understand some of the functions of that particular file. I've just taken a very small example over here. Okay, so instead of explain me this, I'm asking it what actually I want to understand from it. I'll just keep it very quick here. I've just written the sample text here. Explain what this function does, what each parameter means, and walk me through the logic step by step. Likely when you will be using or building any product, you can say to AI, okay, explain me this particular code base. I then need to optimize it further. Okay. So I'm just giving a direction to my junior collaborator. Think it like that. Tell me what each parameter means. Okay. So what it has done is it has tell me the function purpose, the function determines. I'm not going into that depth. I just want to make you understand how you need to work your daily life with the AI. Okay. Next, it has, as you can see, it has given me step-by-step logic of each, what this function represent, each of the parameters, which what that represents. Okay. And the business logic which is inside that, like that. Okay. After that, this is the code I have understood. Okay, this is the code base. Okay, now I know I can, like, let's say your manager told you there are some bugs in this. Okay, so I'm asking that what inputs or edge cases could break this function, list them without fixing anything yet. Okay, that also we can do. We can make it in ask mode. In ask mode, it won't edit your code. It just keeps you telling on things. It's like your friend. It's just telling you the things. So now it's giving me actually what are the edge cases it would break on. Okay. So it's given me these are different types of errors, division by zero errors, since it's some mathematical algorithm here. So it's given me these 1, 2, and these kind of errors. Numerical errors, logic issues are there, output issues, these can be there. So it has actually analyzed, and you can see it has given me 12 points. Mind you, 12 errors, which it has given me as a junior collaborator or AI. Okay. Next, out of these, I can just decide, okay, like these errors needs to be fixed now. And I can ask AI, out of these, fix this error. Okay. So fix the zero division error and the case where attended classes is greater than total classes, because that is a business logic issue. Business logic matlab brain of the code. Okay. So basically, if you will amend the business logic, the output of your code would be hindered. Okay. And yeah, it is being done. So it has fixed that. You see, it amended, like I pasted it into the different file. So this was my initial code. And after the amendation, it fixed it and I pasted it here. You see, these many fixes it did. It was a business logic issue here. It fixed it like this. Now we actually know. If your colleague asks, okay, what changes you did in this feature, now you can actually tell them there was a zero division error that I solved, etc., etc. Okay. And now refactor this, like I'm refactoring my code basically, because it's numerical. So I won't go into that depth, but basically we are refactoring the code here. Okay. And it has actually refactored. I'll show you. See, it has done these many changes. Okay. Okay. After that, plan, build, design. By the way, in this particular demo, we are not considering the plan part because that's very huge. And plan, basically, I'll show you. This, if you see here, this you see a plan icon here. You can just make you guys comfortable with any editor which you use. In ChatGPT, I'm not sure if plan is there, but there is agent and the ask mode there. So you can definitely use those particular modes. In plan mode, you can ask the AI, I need to build a website. It will actually give you a .md file and you guys can retrieve the plans from there and discuss the trade-offs of all the approaches. Okay. Okay. Now plan, design, build, everything is done. Now test. AI has written the code. Now AI will only write the test. You only have to guide it. Okay, write test. Write what I have written is write PyTest. PyTest, why? Because this is in Python. So write Python test, unit test covering zero total test cases. These I have just given them. Okay. Even if you don't know what kind of tests are there and what kind of test coverage, what kind of edge cases you want AI to write, you can ask AI also. Yeah, I want to write a test in this particular file and I want to test it. Please suggest me what all edge cases should I take. And out of those, let's say 12, 15 test cases, sorry, edge cases, you retrieve, let's say 4 to 5, which you actually want to prioritize writing the test on. So I asked AI to write the test, and if you see, it has already written a test file, test attendance fixed. So these are the PyTest. So test that zero total classes return an error, etc., etc. You must have used JUnit test, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So they are basically, AI has written the code, now AI will only test it. Earlier, we used to write the test. And this is very, very, very good like use case of the AI to write the test, because it's very tedious task to, like, as a software engineer, you guys are writing the test. You can definitely structure the test. I want to consider these many edge cases if code would fail there and I want to run on that. Okay. And after that, after you have run the test, now we are on the review part, review phase. That 5 software development life cycle, which we have earlier talked about. Here I'm asking AI to review my code, like a strict engineer doing a PR review. What would you flag or block on? So you see, it is already suggesting me. AI has only written the code, AI has only tested the code, but it would still give me the suggestions. Okay, what are the critical endpoints where it may break? So you see, it has given me PR review blocking issues, type hint claims, etc. I'm not going into that depth. Okay. So missing negative number validation. It's actually, you see, it's creating or telling me the mistakes in its own code. So that's very important. And after it has shared you that these are the blocking issues, these are the critical issues, it can also give you these are the low priority issues, then you would have to select. Basically, thinking is AI doing. You guys have to think of the approaches and decide on that particular approaches which AI has generated, and out of them which you need to go forward. Okay. Okay, so after that, if you see, it has also shared me high priority issues. So basically, in the AI generated code which it has written, it is showing me these are high priority, you can fix them. Okay, so out of these, let's say it has sent me 10 issues. I will pick these are the high priority 2 to 3, and then I will ask AI to fix them again. Okay. Okay, and after that, the documentation part. So that's very, very lovely example of AI to use in our daily lives. Just document this thing, and it would create a lovely document that you can save in your docs or conference document, anything. And it also added, you see here, the comments here, usage example of this file. That's very, very convenient for the future engineers who join into your team or your colleagues or your friends. Okay. Yeah, so these are a very high level overview of how you can actually uh, use AI to understand the code, then ask AI to find the bugs, then ask AI to fix the bugs, then ask AI to test it. Then let's move forward. Okay. But in this session, like we guys are already at 7:47. So in this session, the main thing we have already talked AI in each of the life cycle. Our part was to decide, to understand, to decide between the things which AI has given us. Okay. So the main part which we are also like dropping it now, understand. We have already understood. We have find the bugs, fixed, refactor, everything has been done. At last, after documentation also, you need to validate also. Let's say there are, after unit test also, after testing also, there are some of the edge cases. You guys would understand it later in your career, while building the products, while if you guys are attending some hackathons, etc. So there you would understand, after these tests also, some manual tests, some real-time production tests are also needed. So that's where this part sits in. So you need to validate. So nothing should be shipping without your okay, in short. Okay, you guys also have, you basically, you should take the ownership. You should not be like, okay, AI has written the code, I don't know it. Ask the AI. Why? No. You guys should be answerable why this AI did. Okay. Now we will be going. I've actually showed you in the cursor example that how I used AI to generate test, review it, etc. etc. Now I'll be showing you some set of example prompts which you guys can use to utilize AI tokens better. See, these are the same which we discussed here. Understand, finding the bugs, fix, refactoring, these things. Okay. So for if you want to understand something. So we can ask AI like explain what this function does, etc. Finding the bugs, fixing. Main thing you need to focus on these particular plans like testing. Ask it to ask. Don't give it a generic prompt. Like give it a direction to the ask which you are asking to the AI. Okay, write PyTest, etc., etc. That we have already discussed. So I will not be spending much of the time since we are already out of time now. Okay, now we are going to be discussing turn this into templates for your reuse. Okay, so that's basically the this thing which we already learned here, that was related to this project which we were discussing, the bulk calculator. That's very I'll tell you, like a very generic prompt which you guys can use. Explain what this function does, parameter by parameter, etc. That I think by end of, like, if you are till here in the session, you guys must have understood how you need basically to not give a generic prompt and make an AI understand, do things like this. Okay. Now the main thing. I'll just explain you how, as a software engineer, you need to like responsibly use AI. Okay. So how top engineers talk to AI. So you guys must have understood it's not like you fix this code or make this website. It's like giving some context and not just asking it to do. Okay. And then breaking big task into small prompts, like one, do it like this, second, optimize this function, etc. Next is ask the reasoning before coding, because you are the owner of your code base, you are the owner. If AI is doing anything, you guys should take that ownership. So you should have a perfect reasoning before planning anything and writing the code, and then asking the AI to, if anything is wrong there, asking it to do. Okay. And then taking the decisions as a reviewing the code. Okay. And then just, yeah. And basically, let's say you guys have been assigned like you are debugging something. Debugging means fixing some mistake in your code. Okay. So in that, you assign AI to the real code base context. If let's say you have a code base, in that you have some APIs, APIs, they interact to some other services. So that services context, you should also give it to that. Okay. So whole code base context, so that AI can actually give you a detailed and good approach. Now, this is the most important thing. So these are the mistakes that quietly cost us using the AI. You must have seen in the news also. I don't know, like some of you, like AI is consuming very much water. AI is very costly. Nowadays, companies are restricting AI tokens. They are assigning token. Let's say we have been assigned 500 tokens. If you see, I also have been I have 500 tokens here. If you see my AI usage, so it's depending on the usage, how good prompt you give, how then your response would be generated good. That's one thing, but your token consumption also will be less. Okay. So accepting the code without reading the changes. So you guys must have understood till now, but it's the very important thing. You should be owner of the change which AI is doing. You should know each and every point, end to end. Okay. Every line ships with your name on it. That actually says everything. Now, next is shipping without running the test. You guys must have understood the testing part is very crucial and important. Okay. Next is trusting APIs libraries blindly. Let's say you are upgrading Python 2 to Python 3 in your code base. Then AI will definitely hallucinate on the packages that are not in Python 3 and they were in Python 2. So it would not be able to make it to a good decision and final decision. So what you have to do, you have to again plan, build, design. Plan, design, and build. Okay. So first part was the plan. So you would ask the AI, I want to upgrade my Python version from 2 to Python version 3. Now tell me which packages are more crucial, which need to be signed off from this function, okay, from this file. Next is letting AI make architectural calls. So after planning, after anything, you guys must have understood that we need to make the decision. We are the controller of the AI. AI is just a junior collaborator for us. Main decisions, you as an engineer, as a student, in your college, anything, you need to make the architectural calls. Don't let AI make it. Okay. So prompt and pray is iterating instead of iterating. Okay. So basically, it's not like you guys must have understood we have given the prompt and it's running into the laptop. AI is doing everything. You guys are in the beside chair. No, treat it like a conversation, not a slot machine. For that, you need to ask AI why you did this, how you did this, and why not. Okay. Can't explain your own project anymore. You got that? Let's say you have been working in your internship, a 6-month internship, and in 6 months you just use AI, ask AI, fix this bug, yeah, ship this feature, yeah, my manager has told me this work, do this. No, you are the owner of each line, each and every line with your name on it. It's actually a very important fact which you guys need to understand. In nowadays, people are like, okay, AI has written the code, we have no ownership on that. So you should be taking the ownership. You should not be like, I can't explain this feature which I have myself shipped. And in production, if that is breaking, if your product which you are building, if it has break, so that's your actual uh, ownership for that. You need to take on that. Why it happened? Why you did this change into your code? Okay. And also, typos quietly burn your token budget. Mind you, this part I also learned very like recently, like I think in start of this year or something. Earlier, people used to say that there are tokens, there are etc. I used to just not concentrate on that. So what this part actually means, let's say I have written a code, a prompt. Let's say it has a simple. I'll just show you a simple, let's say explain me, I'll just show you, like while writing this code base till 70th line etc, as kuch bhi, like function so you see there are some typos in my prompt, you see. So what happen is, see, it's fine, you can do it like this, but when you going forward again and again, I'm explaining this is for the parts. So what AI does is, AI don't know this word. So one more effort is going in here to make AI understand. So one more call will go here. What is this word? So it would then check for the similar words. And then it would go to know, okay, it was not a function, it was this word. So if we do any typos, that quietly burn our token budgets also. So try to write the prompts in try writing typos. Don't make those mistakes. Okay. I think I told try writing typos. Yeah. Basically, avoid writing typos. Okay. Yeah. I'm just correcting on that. Yeah. So that would definitely help you utilize your AI tokens very, very efficiently. Okay. And AI wrote it is not a defense. That's what we have been discussing. You guys have to take your ownership of any change which AI has done. Use AI. I'm not saying that don't use AI. Even in today's world, the person who is not using AI is lacking out definitely everything. So you need AI, but on top of that, you are its umbrella. You need to be owner of every change which you are doing. You review it, you shipped it, every line is your responsibility. Okay. Okay. Now, token wasting prompts. Again, the things which I have already told you, like in theory wise, that it's little practical. Can you fix this bug in this code? It's broken somehow. So you see there are typos here. Broken. There is a typo here. This function throws this error. Please suggest me. Fix it. Okay. Token wasting prompt. Is it using these kind of bad prompts are actually very declining your tokens. AI wrote it is not a defense. Actually, AI wrote this, so it's not really my bug. I reviewed and approved every line. This is my code, my name on the commit. Okay. Once you ship it, it's yours, basically. Okay. Blind trust in the output. The output AI gives, never trust that 100% blindly. In chat GPT also, you must have seen chat GPT can make mistakes in the down bottom part. That's actually good, because AI can't build something new. It's trained on currently existing things. So it can think, but it cannot reach out to a decision. It can just assume the things for you. Okay. Mm. Now, learning something for the first time, you can use AI for these many things, like which we have already discussed. I'm not going much into this now. Yeah, if you want to take out of this session the main things, which is first thing, make your thinking a little different, that AI is not just AI, it's a collaborator. Don't use it like ki AI will do everything. Think it like it will do everything, but it's just a collaborator. You need to be honored for each change you take. Again, I know I am repeating this again and again, but we really need to make our minds shift to this particular thinking, that it's just a junior collaborator which is helping in us in planning, reviewing, documenting, and learning the things, and not just you are stuck on writing the code. Okay. So in the whole SDLC, in the whole software development lifecycle, from building a Zepto, from a planning to its architectural decision to ending, AI can help in each of the phase. But keeping in mind, you are the ownership of each change AI does. Okay. Now you are always the last reviewer. That means you are the owner of your project. Okay. So nothing ships and nothing goes on your resume project until you explain every line yourself. And trust me, when you will be pushing your changes into GitHub pull request, your SD2s or SD3s, anybody which would be in your team who would be reviewing your code, they would be asking you why you have done this change. Okay. Fundamentals are what let you use AI well. So definitely, which we have already discussed, avoid the typos, avoid generic prompts, ask AI with a good detailed and directional prompts and the text which you are giving. Okay.